G'day, Paul from Democast Media, helping you supercharge your workflow with screen capture. So today I want to talk about where I'm at in my journey of visual communication because I've been talking a lot about screencasting as a powerful way of communicating, and it's true. If you've got a complex process you want to get across to someone without any confusion, it is the way to go. If you have an application that you want to show off to people, use a screencast. However, a screencast in and of itself is only one piece in your palette or in your pocket knife, which has many blades for different purposes. You don't have to just restrict yourself to screencasting, because if I'm going to be honest, it does have drawbacks. So I want to be honest about that today and tell you about the 4 other siblings of screenshots, because screencasting is the complicated one, which is fancy. It's the glamorous one. It's the one that you might be familiar with if you look at videos a lot on YouTube, but it has other siblings. So I'm going to tell you about those and give you examples of when to use one over another, and that's how I'm going to talk about this topic on my channel moving forward. So what are the other siblings, you ask? So a screencast is one type of screenshot. The first type is called a screenshot, and it's literally taking what is on a screen. I'm just pointing to my monitor to my right. Whatever is on your screen, it's like taking a snapshot of the entire screen. And we're familiar with that for years. When you press print screen on your keyboard, it captures everything. That is a screenshot, and that has its place. That's easy to put in an email or to see what is on the screen. The next one is a screen capture. The difference between that and the other one I mentioned is you can actually choose what portion of the screen you want to include. So you can take a snapshot or a picture of a small part of the screen, or scroll down and keep capturing everything as you go, still as an image. Or you can take a portion of the screen and create a video of that. That's the difference between screenshot and screen capture. It's more precise. Now, the next level up is what we call a GIF or a GIF, whatever you choose to call it. And that's more like a looping style medium. So it's pictures all sewn together, and then when it's being played back, it's just looping back over and over again, and that's really popular. It's you can go to sites like, I believe it's Giphy, and you find really funny GIFs that you can send to people, and fine, if you're into that, great. But my preference is using a GIF to communicate a very, very simple process, but which does involve a few visual things you want people to appreciate, but they don't have to press play on a video and they have to start over again, because it's a repetition of seeing that GIF come over and over again where the value is, but there's no voiceover. It's just a very simple looping medium. And then you come to a screencast, which has more input. So you've got both the visual of what you're seeing with a narration. A lot of the time you can add music to that as well. It's more of a complete visual medium, which I really love. It brings in the mechanical process plus the artistry as well. So all of that is great. But when do you use one over another? You won't use a screencast all the time, because it can be quite time consuming if we're really honest. Sometimes people have to take 5, 6, 7 times just to get this process right. And there's rendering time, and then where do you save the file? How do you share it? If you're new to that kind of thing, it's like, I don't have time for that. I've got stuff to do. So you just don't do it. So let me give you an example. Let's say you're trying to communicate feedback to a developer overseas you have some changes you need to make on your platform, and you're starting to write out this big chunky email, and it takes up a lot of time because you're trying to communicate something that's visual into words. when you need to be doing it the other way around. What you really should be doing is remembering the other sibling of a screencast. You have a screen capture, and you can capture portions of that platform and put annotations on there with the numbering. So number 1, we want this this piece to be changed, and then number 2, we want that. Number 3, we really like this, and you can do those in individual screen capture shots in an email with little text, but they get the points immediately. It bypasses cultural and language barriers. And you can use that same concept. So another example, if you're responsible for creating documentation, if you're a wordy person, we might see the occasional screenshot there, but you need to do more of that. Add more screenshots and annotate those, and then add a little bit of text to go with it. That will make your user guide more user-friendly, because it takes less processing time to look at an image than it does having to read the lengthy text and then to have to try to imagine, what does that look like? And what if you're new to the platform? You've never seen the thing before, and you're expected to have to understand what the words mean when really the picture tells 1,000 words just like that. So that's a case when you would just use screen capture with some annotations, and that's very quick to do it. It takes far less time than a screencast. So in the workplace, I think we need to be doing more of that. Now, when would you use a screencast instead of a screen capture? Well, I'll tell you a quick story. So in a previous life, when I was more of a workplace trainer, I was at a workshop with a client, and the client was also going to launch an application for their franchisees. So the person in charge of that, what she had done was taken screenshots of this application, and it would have been in PowerPoint, I believe. So each slide was a separate part of the application, slide by slide, a different part of the application, and she had put the text, like big chunky boxes full of text, and had pasted it on top of that image with like really engaging music that was great for the audience, but really, and then she then converted that to a video. So PowerPoint with the images and big chunky text over the top of those images, and recorded that as a video. And when I was sitting there watching this, I was like, oh my gosh, this is a launch. She's launching this application for the franchisees to use, and it's ugly. The presentation is so ugly. It's this giant text covering the image of the application, when she could have used a screencast video instead. She could have just captured the mouse clicks and zoomed in and panned and made it more dynamic, like a trailer. She could have made this a trailer instead of a death by PowerPoint with cool music in the background. And I felt for her, but everyone clapped and everyone thought, yeah, this is a great idea, because they didn't know any better. I mean, the audience, I know, was not tech savvy, but I'm sitting there going, it's eating me up inside. Oh, you could have used a multitude of tools to make this stand out even better. And she could have used a screencast, and that would have made her look like a superstar, but everyone was still happy enough for what they were seeing. Not the end of the world, but hey, if you're going to do it right, if you're going to launch something like that, get it on a screencast. So that's my message today. So my channel is not just about using Screencast to get your message across or to supercharge your workflow. Use all 4 children in the family of screenshots. Don't just restrict yourself to one type of tool in your toolkit. Know what they are and when to use them. So that's my commitment to you. If you subscribe to this channel, I'm going to show you how to use all 4 types of screenshots, how to use them, and when to use them. And that is the true skill of a great communicator, and you will dazzle your clients. They will appreciate the care that you've taken to communicate ideas to them and insights they'll think that you're amazing when all you've done is just taken a few shots and a few labels. But to them, it's adding value, and you'll communicate more clearly with your colleagues within your business and internationally. You will launch whatever your idea is in an engaging, impactful way and be understood the first time. That is my commitment to you. So hey, thanks for watching. See you next time.